Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. I haven't been on in a while, so happy, I guess, Labor Day weekend. We'll just say happy long weekend. Hopefully you guys have spent some time out in nature, spent some time out there doing something for yourself, whether it's a cup of tea, reading a book, doing some meditation, maybe reading some like self-advancement material, connecting with friends, connecting with family, or connecting with acquaintances, and just kind of asking for help where you need it, going inwards when you need it, and hopefully doing some self-care as well. So there's a lot going on at the moment, and I continue to say I find it difficult to come online in a planned, sort of scheduled way at the moment. And that can change. But for now, I'm just going to come on when I feel called to do so and when I feel like I have the energy to do so, because all of us, I feel like, are going in waves, going up and down, whether or not we're struggling or whether we're doing really well. And that can shift from an hourly basis, a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, right? But for myself, I feel like I'm going through a deep initiation phase, and a lot of elements to my realities and belief systems are basically dissolving, and a lot of things are being exposed and revealed in terms of having kind of like a disharmony or like a dystopian energy about how I'm viewing things at the moment. But also what's happening on the outside of things. So there's disharmony, there's kind of a dystopian feel. We've got a lot of things dissolving, constructs dissolving, things coming up again for us to really take a look and say, hey, no, that doesn't work for us anymore. And that also includes the dissolving of capitalism and the dissolving of colonialism. And that's happening in a lot of different ways. But I'm not going to go into it right now. But if you guys think about it and kind of muse and play around with that energy for a minute, why are things crumbling? Why are things dissolving? Why are things chaotic in the external world? Because they're not working for us anymore, because those systems themselves have generated a lot of grief, pain, suffering, and intolerance from the people who are now realizing and recognizing through their own growth and through living out life lessons and evolving as beings, that you're no longer willing to settle. And that includes relationships. And that's one of the biggest things we look at when we say you're no longer willing to settle. But this is actually evolving out to career. This is evolving out to friendships. This is evolving out to family even. And so this is huge, massive energy shifts taking place. And you can also look at it as, let's say, the past 25 years or so, things have been under the surface like a volcano. It was still there. It was still unstable. It was still insecure. It wasn't working, but we couldn't see the inner workings for what it really was. We couldn't see how, we'll say, messed up things were. And then all of a sudden, boom, now we're in this kind of alternate reality where it is difficult to figure out what's real, what's not. And especially if you're on a shamanic journey, if you are a starseed or someone that resonates as being not from here. So perhaps resonating with Venus, the Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturian, Atlantis, Lemuria, you have a very special capability to withstand a lot of energy and energy shifts at that. So, you're this filter, this mass filter, and you're interpreting. And when you're interpreting and you're filtering and you're critically thinking and then you're evolving as a person, who you are is the leader. Who you are becomes the example as you move forward. So it might be in a small conversation. It might be at a family gathering where you say something that your wisdom has gleaned and you share that with people. And they might not pick it up right away, but it's a seed that's planted. So there's a lot of inception going on in both directions. So we have kind of the inception of peace and unity and compassion and kindness and looking at alternative perspectives. Then we also still have like the old energies kind of just grasping at straws going, yeah, okay, but let's still be at war with one another. Let's still create disharmony and disorganization and it's you against me types of energy. So that's a natural falling away. And so if you're feeling exhausted and or like you're on the verge of a mental breakdown or any of these things, but you are also very aware that there's a multiplicity of factors going on and there's a rearranging of a lot of energy. Excuse me. I would just say, take a moment to recognize the gravity of the situation where if we're looking at it in this snapshot of a moment, we can say, you know what, I didn't come here to do this. I wanted more for life. I wanted more for myself and feeling kind of upset. And you're looking at it through the eyes of the now in this moment of great change, of total evolution of the planet and basically our species as humans, right? Like there's a lot going on. And so if we were to zoom way out, you might be breaking a generational curse that's been in your family for, 50 years, 100 years, included in your kind of genetics. We'll just say human genetics. But your spiritual evolution. So a lot of that has to do with codependency. And I've talked about this in other readings, and it basically is because that's what I have been dismantling. And it is huge to be dismantling this because dismantling my codependency isn't just like an overnight thing going, oh, I realized I was codependent. Oh, I realized there is this pattern happening in my previous relationships. Oh, I can see how this affected my evolution. The thing is, there's this checkmate point when you're evolving out of a pattern where you actually are in no man's land. Because what's interesting, and psychologically, if you kind of research the subconscious aspects of this is why things go on repeat for so long, because they stay in the subconscious level where we're not typically aware of them. Once they get up to the conscious level, we can actually deal with them and dismantle them. But it's really hard for those patterns to actually evolve up to the surface. So once they do, and you actually have the courage and the endurance and the willingness to let go and sacrifice people, places, things that aren't connected to that codependent pattern anymore, you find yourself in no man's land. And this is the void. This is the new energy where spirit usually will come through with messages. And I'm not doing readings right now, but after I do a little bit of channeling and sharing, I'm actually going to be doing card pulls for whoever wants a reading today. So if you want a reading today, I will be doing card pulls, and depending on how many people there are, I'll do longer card pulls if there's not a lot of people on live. And if there's a few more, then I'll probably just do 1 or 2 card pulls. But so you're in a totally new landscape. You're actually in a new world. And so you're going to have to relearn and integrate how you behave in the world now without that codependent kind of architecture that was supporting you. So essentially you have all new foundations because you're starting from scratch in a way, but you're starting from all the lessons and the wisdom that you have learned. So in essence, you might be going, I have nothing, or I'm starting brand new. This is a new start. And you can look at that from a variety of different ways. You can be excited about it, or you can be disappointed that you have to do this now at this time in your life, or this phase in your life, or you were just hoping to have some rest. I know for me, I really battled with, I just wanted to be happy for a little while, because I've had a 10-year stretch of a lot of different shifts, including divorce, including my mother passing away, the loss of friendships, the loss of relationship, a lot of different aspects of change through pressure, change through grief, change through sorrow, a lot of heavy duty introspection. And I'm almost at the point, you guys might be here too, where you don't want to introspect anymore. So you're either at one phase or the other. You're like, I'm out of here. I don't want to be in the hermit shell. I want to be out in the world. I want to be moving. I don't want this stagnancy anymore. I'm ready to rock. And others of you who have kind of been going, but you're starting to slow down, starting to get tired, you're going to want to go inwards. You're going to be embracing that hermit energy and just taking some time to stop and to look at where you are, get your footing again, and kind of reanalyze your direction and your priorities at this time. So another question for you guys, another thing to consider is just take a moment to briefly look at your compassion level. Because when we are in chaos, disruption, uncertainty, we can transfer into that fear, reactive energy very quickly. And we have a lower threshold for, I guess, maybe listening to others or seeing another side of a perspective. So there can be a lot of combative energy right now, and we see that out in the world. But for you guys watching, just kind of check in with yourself and ask, are you willing, or are you able to critically think and look at different world events or current beliefs and other people's perspectives, and allow a little bit more room for there being more than one truth or more than one version of the truth, and to look at people with kindness and compassion instead of ostracizing and being cruel to people. This is very important right now because, well, essentially it's going to affect the next part of your journey. So if you have been doing really well in looking at all sides of, a problem or an issue, and being very calm and balanced and steady, being non-reactive, critically listening or active listening, then you're doing really great. Don't allow yourself to just slip off the edge just because, things are crumbling. Maneuver yourself back from the edge so that you're still on steady ground, whatever that means for you, getting more sleep, meditating more. And you might be at a place where you feel just saturated. So for me, I know for the last couple of weeks, I don't even think I've been on for like 3 weeks, I felt like, okay, I'm not going on. I have nothing to give. I'm not in a good space. Going through a lot of different sort of evolutionary shamanic questions, and chatting with my guides and connecting in different ways and going, okay, like, am I supposed to be doing this still? And it's good to check in with yourself and see where you're at with energies, because even if you've invested in something, say a business, a relationship, tarot readings, whatever it is for you, even if you've invested a lot, it's still really important to check in with yourself and see, is this still in alignment with you? So a lot of breaking things down, a lot of morphing old constructs, dissolving things, and your reality might be shifting a lot. So if you're going through a lot of inner changes, psychological changes, which is great, because then you're able to see the world through different lenses at different times in your life as you come to understand different elements of the world differently, right? So I can't remember exactly where I was going with that, but just check in with yourself, see where you're at, make sure your energy levels are as balanced as possible, and understand that there can still be peace within inside of you, even when there's chaos everywhere else. And it's a kind of an inverse of before, when there's probably a lot of chaos going on inside of you in the past 5 years. And now you're learning, strategizing, being logical, being a little bit more tempered in your emotions, and stepping back from drama and going, okay, all right. So it is interesting that now you have more peace within you, and the results, however, of that chaos of everybody being in the collective right now, you'll have to hold that peace within until the peace can be and the harmony can be in the exterior again. And that's going to take a little while as we move forward. Another thing that I encountered, which I'm just going to have a sip of tea in a second here, but another thing that I encountered with this feeling of peace, because I'm not necessarily in a place that I want to be in life. I feel Spirit has set me up for something really amazing coming up here. But there's a lot of unknown and a lot of uncertainty. And I have to really surrender to the evolution of myself and not really knowing exactly where I'm going. But I felt a lot of peace, and I questioned, is this boredom? Is this boredom or is this peace? You might be asking yourself the same thing. But I do feel like it is a little bit of both, because there's been a lot of stagnancy, not a lot of movement, and it will change, it will evolve, and that's just a matter of time here, but it should be within the next month, within the next 2 months here, you should see a little bit of movement. Within that regard, there's a lot of testing of faith here. If you're a spiritual being, if you resonate with being called an earth angel, a spiritual warrior, a starseed, a shaman, you're going through deep initiation. And there are a lot of tests of faith, trust, endurance, and stamina. And that doesn't really make sense to our ego. It doesn't really make sense to our human self. We're like, why does this keep happening? Why is this like a 10-year dark night of the soul? What's going on here? Haven't I learned my lessons? Where's my harvest and my abundance? So you guys can also be there. And as we release that codependency, old generational trauma, wounds, pain, grief, we do need some time to understand and recognize how far we have come. So those are a couple of notes that I wanted to go over and just kind of see what was going on with you guys and how you guys are feeling. And for those of you catching the replay, also let me know if you resonate. Let me know if any of those topics kind of hit home for you, and if you're also experiencing some energies such as that. Spirit's asking me to go over the kind of mental breakdown of the reality shifting. It's kind of like the Matrix. If we look at that, if we think about Neo and we're like, okay, well, how was he feeling at the time? He's probably going, whoa, everything has shifted, everything has changed. What is true? What is not? What is reality? What is not? Like, is this a game? How does it work? And things are shifting and evolving. And so if you guys are having any issues with your intuition and trusting your intuition because there hasn't been a lot of physical evidence or that manifestation in the 3D yet, I would say just be careful with that right now at the moment, because Spirit's being really tricky about not giving you more information than you need. So whilst it might feel very restrictive, I feel like it's actually a sign of your strength, if that makes any sense. you're holding space, standing your ground, listening to your intuition. And I truly feel that it's just a case of you not being able to fully comprehend how far you have come and the work that you've already done. So, you might not think you've done much, where your ancestors and your guides are looking down going, whoa, we didn't even think she or he would achieve this in this lifetime. And they're down there, having dark night of the soul, thinking, why am I here? Should I even stay? What's my purpose? And going, in the analytical, the mind, and getting lost in overthinking. So if you know how to regulate your thoughts, great. That's a big lesson we're learning right now. If you know how to regulate your emotions, great. That's another lesson we're learning right now. How to regulate our thoughts and our emotions and how to pair them together. And that makes you a fucking powerhouse, basically. So be patient with yourself. This is crunch time, man. I thought we had kind of gone through the threshold, walked through the doorway a couple months ago, but I don't think that's true. I think I was kind of like, trying to just push through a little bit too quickly and wishful thinking. So I do feel like this is intense. There's I don't want to say twin flames, but it's true. There are some twin flame energies. There are some soulmate energies, but there's some huge strategic evolutionary moves, and your guides and your support system are really helping you move through this, because it can drastically change everything. Things can be shifting very quickly because it's looked like there's been nothing happening for a very long time, whilst underneath or up above, or whatever you want to think about, however you want to think about it, there's been tons of inner work happening. There's been massive collective shifts, and your entire purpose and journey might be evolving in real time right now, because there's also been a lot of timeline shifts. Like if you guys think about 2019 to now, I feel like, 2019 was like 2 weeks ago in one regard. And then I also feel like I'm a totally different person than I was 2 years ago. So there's kind of like wormhole timeline shifting happening. So there's a lot of layers of complexity. So if you guys are losing it, try to come home to yourself however you can, one step at a time, one day at a time. And really, I hope that you guys can hold on and reevaluate, shift some things, just small things, focus on, actually they're saying, some people do have big things to shift. But if you have a big thing to shift, like you're buying a home, or you're removing yourself from a relationship. Those are big things, but you'll feel it, you'll know it, you'll understand that it's time. It's time to now go towards exactly what you're meant to go towards. And it's just 2323 on the timestamp. So, all right, I feel like we're good. My guides aren't kind of like poking me to talk about anymore at the moment. I don't have tons of energy, but I did want to come on and just check in because, another mystic or shaman, someone I look up to, she came on today on Facebook and did a live, and I thought, kudos to her. She's getting out there. She's talking the talk. She's presenting herself, and she's connecting with people and sharing with people, because sometimes when we feel like going inwards and hiding from the world and just shutting down and just being silent, sometimes that's because we have so much truth and wisdom to share. We just don't know how to share it and or who to share it with. But sometimes you get that feeling of release and or like you are following your intuition, your guidance. So if you guys who are watching, if any of you are wanting a reading, I'll pull some cards for you. I'll do that first. And then for anyone watching the replay, I'm just going to pull a couple cards just to see if there's any messages for others out there who are going to catch the reading. And we will see. So if you want a personal reading right now, live, I'll pull a couple cards for you. Just put yes, please. Yeah, okay, Sally, you're first up. So I'll just do a little mini reading. So I've got some cards out that I don't usually use on my readings, but because I knew I wasn't going to do a full tarot reading today, so I'm going to use these ones, the Wild Woman Mystery cards, as our first go. And if you guys don't know, I did release a little oracle book that you guys can buy on Amazon or just plug it into Google. So yeah, if you haven't got yours already, then if you feel so called to get your copy, it's just a little one. It's a little book, but it's 88 pages. So there's lots of goodies in there in terms of oracle messages. And if you already have it, feel free to write a review or let me know what you thought of it. It's my first one, so it's, my entry level. So this is for Sally. Okay, I'm going to leave the cards out. And then this one is the Shapeshifter deck by Lucy Cavendish. I figured I would use that one today because, I had a dream about a flying snake the other day, but I also had a dream about a bear, and I feel like the bear shapeshifted into a woman afterwards. And another friend was talking to me about having a dream about shapeshifting animals. So I thought I would use the Shapeshifter deck today. Okay. So I think I'll do 4 cards. And then Sally, I'm going to ask you which deck you want to use just before I pull this so you have a minute to choose. I've got 2 here. Wisdom of Avalon and Return of Spirit. So let me know which one you would like your 4th and final card from, and I'll pull from whichever deck you choose. Okay, so this is going to be an animal spirit for Sally. Sally. Okay, here we go. And then I don't see answer. Oh, the wisdom. There we go. Okay. Okay. Final card for Sally. Oh, that one seemed to want to come out really quick. Okay. So this reading is for Sally, but of course, the messages will still apply for those watching right now. So definitely, nice. Definitely take these messages as they resonate for you, because it's not a direct message for you unless you are Sally. However, there will be a message in these messages for you. So it may resonate really strongly, and you might just kind of connect with a couple messages. But I find that most times these will resonate with others as well. We have peace. So this is from the Wild Woman deck. And let me see what peace says. So Sally, we all belong to one another. And when we have forgotten that, we don't have peace. Peace is something we have when we remember that we are all one, that we belong to each other, that we are one another. The irony is that when we forget that, we lose ourselves. Peace is the divine creation in all her glory, the earth in all her presence, you in all you are. Let the wild tame your survival heart. Oh, that's an interesting, because I feel like we're all kind of in a survival heart right now. When we know this oneness, we no longer suffer in the same way. It is impossible to spiral into the power that takes you away from that. Instead, it takes you to a place of deep wisdom inside the center of the universe, and that is the true place to be powered from. When you experience pain and sadness, it is because you have separated yourself from this knowing. Separateness, or have become separated. Separateness causes pain. This is the wonder of being the wild woman you were born to be, as this wonderful feeling system we have, this alert system, can signal to us one of the most important messages we can ever receive from the sacred wisdom of the divine. It can signal our way to peace. Interesting. It can allow us to re-enter into the knowing that we are one. It can help us to find our way back to the truth that we are one. We are sacred. When in pain, you are only a realization away from that. So exercise compassion with yourself and others, especially in these times. Make the movement. Be a spiritual activist. Exercise your right for peace within yourself and the world. And that's actually on page 88. So if you follow numerology and spirit numbers or angel numbers, 88 or 888 might be something that you are seeing in sequence or will see in sequence when Spirit wants to remind you of this message of cultivating and reclaiming your own peace within yourself. So let's see. Shapeshifter. This is so cute. I actually hadn't thought about this card in a very long time. And then someone online had done like little figurines, and they had done one of a Kitsune. So Kitsune, I will show you who to trust. So in the reading, I talked a little bit about losing trust with yourself or intuition or just people in general or the systems in general. Now, I'll read out Kitsune, but this one is interesting because it's kind of just saying that you'll have help showing you who to trust. And when we were just listening to the peace write-up from the Wild Woman card, she was talking about that inner knowing, that gut instinct, that gift that we have in knowing who to trust and who not to trust. So let's read this one out, or I'll read most of it out anyways. And let's see. Kitsune is the Japanese word for fairy-like fox or spirit being who shapes itself into the form of the fox. Kitsune are, without exception, very intelligent and can bestow great gifts and blessings upon those whom they travel with. You, for example. Kitsune will also help you outwit those who would steal what is rightfully yours, falsely sell you something of no worth, or even try to steal aspects of your own energy, personality, and destiny. The older your Kitsune familiar is, the wiser she will be. The more you can heed her knowledge, and the more you can safely surrender to her leadership for time. So this is suggesting that you're tired, and you're needing a little bit of extra help from the spirit realm. And so Spirit is saying, we have this helper for you. It is the Kitsune or fox medicine. Close your eyes for a moment and see your Kitsune. How many tails does yours possess? The number of tails indicates how many levels of experience your Kitsune has. I'm just going to take a... Okay, I will pull a card for you, Marilyn. Trust me, people say. Over here they bet. Croon, but who of all these beings seeking what you possess speaks the truth? I, Kitsune, can hear their true voice, and I can see the consequences of their plans before they have a chance to unfurl. While it can hurt to know the truth, it is best to know the heart of those who would win your trust, your love, your resources. These precious gifts of yours must be protected. Your tender self must only be given where you will be honored. There are some who wish to deceive and manipulate you, and yet you do not know who they are. By welcoming me in for a time, I will act as a powerful undercover agent, and I will expose the tricks and falsehoods of others. This could be new friends, this could be coworkers, family members, people you're dating, if you're dating. I will never advise you to be false, but I will clearly signal to you when to stay silent, whom to avoid, and situations that need not be your concern. I may appear in the guise of a helpful stranger or an insightful encounter, or as I do here in this card. Regardless of my form, I am your friend, and I will tell you the truth and show you where the trickster plays. It says, you will have a series of coincidences in which you stumble upon information that reveals what the best action to take is. So more clarity. That's how I like to look at some of these cards that say that there's some deception somewhere in your sphere. It's like you'll receive more clarity as you move forward, is a good way of looking at that as well. So Kitsune is here to help you. And it could also be like people with red hair or like orange colored hair, maybe like a tabby cat or something that you see and you're like, interesting. That reminds you of the fox. So Kitsune are often the go-betweens connecting the Great Spirit and those of us here in this realm. So we do have help, and there is something guiding you. It'll be interesting if you got like the fox card in the Spirit of Animal Oracle deck too. Nope, but it is orange. So you have the Giraffe Visionary. This is awesome. So it says, rise above earthly matters. And this makes sense with your reading too, because that's what might help you, because Kitsune is also part of you, right? You can see through people's bullshit. You know if they're lying to you. You might not believe it right away. You might have to test the waters, or you don't have to, but you choose to. But for the most part, you can tell if people are lying to your face or whatnot. So as the world is right now, and I happen to know your profession, so it's possible that this giraffe medicine is assisting you to go up above, high. So you're looking over everything. You're not in it. You're not in the crux of it as much with your emotional body. And that's how you can also obtain a little bit more peace at the moment. So rise above earthly matters, glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. So if you're worried that you're not on the right path, or you have a choice to make coming up, something's offered to you, know that you're going to know what's deception and what's not. Hi, son. And you will choose the right path. So try not to have worry there. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. And for a lot of us, that's challenging right now. What did the wild woman say? It was what was that? Can you guys remember? The something heart. What was it? It like really stood out for me. Oh, survival heart. So going from survival heart to big heart, like open heart. And it might be worthwhile to go online and take a look at Giraffe Animal Totem and look up the medicine of this, because that might be really helpful and resonate strongly with you at this particular moment. And so let's see what your card is from the Wisdom of Avalon. The owl. So this is a double message for you about deception. So deception and wisdom. Resonance number 13 or the number 4. So the interesting thing about the owl, and I've always been intrigued by this medicine, because, you know, usually coyote and fox indicate like someone being like tricky around you, and or someone lying, or just trying to get something, not being on the up and up, right? Like just not being the best version of themselves. And they might really be going for the gold, like really, truly flat out lying to you. Or they might just be leaving out some important information, which sometimes can be just as bad. But the other thing about owl is the owl kind of hones in on where we can deceive ourselves. So if we look at your reading here, we've got visionary rising above. We've got the Kitsune showing you who to trust, so helping you know and helping you trust your intuition again, and your kind of your gut instinct, your radar, and bringing you back to a state of peace. And the owl can help you see if you're deceiving yourself in any area. And also, of course, the Kitsune working with you means that you're going to be able to see the correct path, the right way to go that's for you, and you're going to move through and clear any energies that are meant to distract you. And essentially that's what lying and deceit is, right? It's meant to distract you. It's meant to take away your energy or your empowerment in some way. So the owl medicine is also the wisdom. You can't see through deception. You can't trust your instincts. You can't listen to your body if you don't have that wisdom, if you're not allowing that wisdom to flow. So you can't see through the deception if you don't have the wisdom. So automatically when you have owl medicine, it's saying you have a special ability to see through to the truth of a situation or situations. So use that to your advantage. So that could also be like a new contract, moving house, something to do with some details here. But also with the giraffe medicine, I'm interested to see if you do research the totem. Let me know if you find anything that really resonates with you. But looking at everything, you're going to be able to see things for what it is, not just looking up close so that you're hyper fixated on one aspect or element of your life right now. So those messages are for you, Sally, and hopefully they resonated. And I'll pull a couple cards here, maybe not the full meal deal if you're not online, but I think there was a couple people who wanted a reading. Hearts Love, I don't know if you're still on. It doesn't look like it, but I'm going to pull for Jake and Marilyn. And I don't know if Jake is still here or Sun. Let me know if you're still here and you want cards. Otherwise, I'm just going to pull a couple cards for the collective reading. You're welcome, Sally. Yeah, I hope it helps. It's interesting to get the giraffe medicine and the Kitsune, because you could look up fox medicine and giraffe medicine and see if there's any connections. One of the sites that I like is Spirit Animals. It's like Spirit-Animals. But usually I just look up giraffe animal totem on Google, and then it will come up with a bunch of different sites. And then if you want to dive deeper into that, you can look at a few different ones and see what resonates for you. All right, so Marilyn, let's do some cards for you. Okay, so Wild Woman cards. Let's see, these messages. Okay, so that is just a confirmation then. Definitely, if you've been seeing them and you haven't looked them up, definitely, Sally, look them up like ASAP because there will be a message in there for you. And it's just going to click. You're going to know exactly what it's about. So this will be for Marilyn. Interesting. Let's see. Shapeshifters. There was a time that I had a lot of fox medicine around. And it's quite an interesting, like it's a very powerful medicine. And if it's your first kind of interaction with fox medicine, it is an initiation of sorts. It means you're moving from one stage in your life to another stage. And it'll be really interesting to see because it also kind of implies that you're very cunning, like you're very smart. You have all the tools, the intelligence, the intellect, the logic, the balance of your heart and mind to make these moves that you need to make. So Marilyn, out of the two, Wisdom of the Avalon or the Return of Spirit, let me know which one you want. And we'll see. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know how you like the style of this reading as opposed to me doing the full general. Because I know sometimes if I'm watching tarot online, I won't watch some of the personal ones, but sometimes I will, and they make perfect sense to me. So, and Marilyn, okay, I'm gonna go with Return of. Oh no. They're like, no. I'm like, okay, I will heed your demands. Okay, so maybe it's because the Return of Spirit card is for Jake. All right. Okay, Marilyn, let us go forward into your reading. Allowing. This one is really pretty. Really nice. Let us see. I really like this deck. It's like boom, boom. It's like very to the point. So allowing. Be the source of possibility for yourself. You can afford opportunity. To allow means to give your blessing of consent to move away from the plan. Consider that the plan, so to speak, is to allow, not necessarily doing what you had in mind. Permit the presence of yourself. Say to yourself, I am allowed here. I am going to plan for my presence to be part of my experience and accept what unfolds before me. You are allowed to be here in your own way without judgment from anyone, including yourself. This is what is meant by sitting outside of the box. Allowing is outside of your predetermined ways. Interesting. It's only from accepting what is that you get to move from one place to another. Allowing is moment by moment living. It is living in the unknown and is not part of the plan. This is perfect for right now. Allowing is not a predetermined motivation or incentive. It is letting be what is in each moment undetermined by your mind. This is crazy. Give yourself permission to consider that your path has as much a right to be here as anyone else's. Per means for each, and mission means assignment. Consider for a moment to give yourself permission is really to accept each assignment your life presents, to grant permission for each task, and to allow for the presentations unfolding in every moment. To claim your place in the world is to let all of yourself be here and to permit the passage of all that is presented to you. To allow this moment to enter your life allows you, all of you, to be here in the moment. Embrace yourself here. Take it all in. Possibility is your chance to break open into opportunity, unfolding in every moment. But remember, this is a step-by-step process. Experience each moment one small step at a time. Staying in the moment is the key to allowing and observing yourself as you go along. You deserve to be here. All your feelings are yours, and they're part of your journey. Don't be afraid. You are allowed to be present in everything you do, no matter what. Grant yourself permission to allow your feelings. Breathe. Feel the feeling. Name the feeling, and permit yourself to be in the experience you need. It is not hard to allow. The hardest thing is to not be yourself. You just have to give yourself permission and practice it a little to be yourself. You are a good woman. Know this. It really is important and a natural and inherent part of the wonder-filled, wild, authentic path. Woo! That one was a big one. There are some pretty big messages coming on through here with these personal messages too. And for the Shapeshifter, you have Dragonfly Mermaid. You've attracted wonderful news. And this resonates to number 10, which of course, so 9 and 1, which is a new beginning. So here we are, number 19. Whoops. Okay. Dragonfly Mermaid is coming forward to be with you for a time. She will show you what colors and what moods will be best for you at present. In doing so, you make a change that all can see and that will make you very attractive to something that will come as a surprise. By matching the energy of that which you will attract before it has come near to you, you will send out a message to the universe, and the good fortune that has been looking for a home will be drawn to you. Dragonflies leave their blessings with those who treasure them. So you are about to receive their gifts because they know you are a joyful, blissful, bright, and beautiful recipient. Ain't that the truth? Oh, I gotta have a sippy sip. Okay. You are about to receive good news quite out of the blue. This message truly has a touch of magic about it. And to be honest, anyone who's watching right now or catches the replay and watches up to this point, there will be something good that comes out of the blue for you, because I've been hearing that message for at least a couple weeks now. Out of the blue, out of the blue, out of the blue, something you're not expecting, a gift that you're not expecting, something that will be happy. So yeah, continue to keep the faith that good things are still possible. This message truly has a touch of magic about it. And once it arrives, you will feel yourself glowing with happiness, health, and the satisfaction of great good fortune. It's like, yeah! It is something that comes to you via a dragonfly magical companion. So when you see me, know the news is near. That's awesome, because I have been seeing dragonflies everywhere. And I love it because there's been so many different colors too. Also know that these tidings contain brightness and shimmering rainbow colors, bringing joy, not just to you, but to many others too. And that's true as well, because the more joy you have, the more contentment, security, the more authenticity you get to radiate out into the world, that just kind of goes on and on and on and on to everyone you interact with, right? Your newfound brightness and optimism made you very attractive to this piece of good fortune, so it has now found you. There will be a bright piece of beautiful luck, shining and golden and full of vibrancy. It will offer you energy, confirmation, and validation, and is a blessing from the universe. It is not a reward for your changes, but know that it is utterly connected to the strivings you have made to drop judgment, ego, and other harmful feelings and habits. And as a result, you too are glowing with beauty. Expect more and more beauty to find you now. There will be fresh challenges along the way, but magic is all around you. We're like, no. And your auric field and life force themselves are highly attractive to wonderful events, people, and possibilities right now. Stay on course. Right? So if you're feeling like, fuck it, and you just want to like blow things up because things are so tense right now, stay on course, come back to your center, find yourself again. I mean, there's a difference between that like untethered, unbound, reactive, impulsive energy and serious decisions and truths that your spirit is calling you to follow. So if you're listening, know that there is a difference between the two. And usually you know that impulsive action will come with consequences, and you do it anyways because you're saying fuck it at the moment, right? So change the clothes and the colors you wear, and including pleasing sacred objects in your environment will change your energy and attract more of the same. So, right, I feel like there's different, I can't remember the word for it right now, but when it's like change or changing, anyways. So yeah, brighten it up, put some new colors in there, change it up. If you see something really cool, you're like, that's too bright for me, do it anyway. All right. So, and this is cool. Your animal totem is lizard regeneration. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new bright colored cloak. You are a master of regeneration. That is so cool. This is awesome. I really like this card for you. So allowing regeneration, this is all about I feel like it could also include rapid movements. So it's like trusting yourself to know that you are ready to make some changes and to continue evolving, and that you have really worked. This is what you work towards. Hi, Kathy. How you doing? Oh, this is so cute. And your message is the cow, number 20, 20, and this is a great omen. Nourishment, abundance, asking, and receiving. So this card is all about like plenty. This card is all about receiving what you need, having your needs met, and also being able to ask for help and give help equally. Hi, George. Well, George is saying hi to everyone. So really having that flow of energy going to and from you, being able to ask for help, being able to help others, and having a nice balance there. But essentially, I'm just getting a message of abundance for you. So you've got some abundance coming in as you regenerate, and you have called in something really fantastic. So continue to allow yourself to evolve and move forward. And Jake, let's see here. I'm going to pull one from the Return of Spirit because it's a fractal deck. And so it really connects in with the higher realms and kind of deeper energetic concepts. And I think you'll resonate to this particular deck. So, no, not too late. All right. George is like, let me out of here. Too much energy. Okay, so Jake, this is going to be for you. Message for Jake. Oh, okay. That was it. All right. Simplicity. Ooh, this one is so pretty. I like it. Awesome. Marilyn, if you look online at the Wisdom of Avalon, you can look up the cow and see what the full message in the booklet is too. So Jake, let's find out what simplicity. Part of my book just flew out. All right. Let's see. All right. Actually, I'll keep that up so you guys can kind of look at the colors and the image. Life can sometimes become very complicated. The simplicity card comes when the demands of life start to overwhelm us. It's time to get back to basics. It's time to take a time out, so you have the space to breathe and the quiet to think. It's time for a full assessment of what is and is not working in your life right now. Are you overfilling your plate with too many tasks and errands? Are you involved in a complicated or emotionally draining relationship? Perhaps you have been working too much or taking too many classes, leaving no spare time for you. The simplicity card comes to ask that you give your life an evaluation. Take the time out you need and start to get clear about what brings you sustenance in your life. While life may never be easy, your life does need to allow for a sense of ease. We can lose our sense of self and our inner connection to spirit when we are overwhelmed with the demands and happenings of the world around us. Whoa, that's a big one. That's a big one. Spirit is calling you to begin making yourself a priority in your own life. They're asking that you put yourself and those things which help you feel closer to source in front of everything else. You need a reprieve from the chaotic and hectic energy you are experiencing right now. When you are in touch with yourself and with source, it helps to make life more manageable. It helps you to feel steady on your feet and aids you in removing those things which do not align with your highest good. It also frees your energy so you have plenty to give to those things which you do choose to keep in your life. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I think that one resonates pretty strongly, if I do say so myself. All right. Okay, so let's see here. All right. I'm getting a little bit tired, so I might not pull as many cards, but let's see. Hearts, love. Okay, I see. Okay, so if you want a little bit of a romance side of things, I'll pull one card for you because you're the main focus here. And then I'll pull a card from my my Kindred Spirit Love Oracle. And yeah, we'll see what the energies are going on between the two of you. Okay. So yours is a wild card. Bum-ba-da-bum. Let's see. This one, I don't know if I've ever... Oh. You are the wild card of your life. You are the one who will make it be what it is. You turn it around whether it goes up or down. Think about what that means. Interesting. So, I mean, that's a pretty direct and straightforward message. But why I think Spirit sends messages that are concise, clear, direct, and to the point is that you are likely in a stage of overthinking. So maybe you're overthinking the law of attraction. Maybe you're overthinking relationship energy. Maybe you're overthinking what you need to do, or you feel like you're in a state of fight or flight. There's definitely something that's unstable, as the wild card indicates that there's definitely something up in the air right now for you. And the thing is, there's a lot of power in the wild card too. If we think about a card game and the Joker or the wild card, those in those circumstances are the most potent and powerful because they can come out of the blue and they can shift the whole entire storyline, right? So for you, I'll read that again in just a moment, but I'm going to pull a card for you from my Kindred Spirit Love Oracle deck. And this will be with regards to your question about current feelings. So priorities. There is a difference in priorities, which is causing a block or challenge in this situation. One person may have more focus on the material realm than the spiritual realm. There is energy out of alignment and communication required. So what this kind of indicates is, first of all, choosing yourself always and focusing on yourself always, not waiting for anybody to choose you or move towards you. So reclaiming some of your individuality and empowerment within yourself. But also, if you're still invested energetically, you can pull away, come back to yourself, readjust, connect in with the wild card energies that are going on in your life, but also recognize that it sounds like either you or Jackson is focusing elsewhere. So if you are asking the question, I'm assuming that it's the other person. And so this person might be focusing more on work, might be focusing on materialism, and this is probably stemming from something that their spirit is working to either dismantle if it's a wound or a trigger point for them, because we're all working on really big things right now. But the priority for them isn't on the relationship, which is unfortunate, because if you're ready to prioritize it and you're doing spiritual work, then it just means the timing's not quite there at the moment. So that's what I get for you there. And I'll read that wild card one more time because it's so short. You are the wild card of your life. You are the one who will make it be what it is. You turn it around whether it goes up or down. Think about what that means. All right, so you got a little bit of a brain teaser there. So, okay, so if you understand, that is awesome. But remember at the bottom of the card too, it says communication required. So if there's willingness and open communication, then maybe you can actually talk about your priorities and go, hey, like this is where my priorities are. Where are your priorities, and do they match? And if you were listening to some of the other personal readings, in one of them, it was talking about allowing and trying your best. It can be a practice for you to allow to disengage from the result before you initiate that communication or conversation, that you really try to get yourself into a point where you're so empowered that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And that's a really strong place to go into a conversation, so it doesn't turn into an argument or but I need you to be thinking in this way, or vice versa, right? Okay, that's where you are. Okay, I can accept that. I can allow that. And I'm going to adapt and I'm going to pivot and change, right? So hopefully that makes sense for you, Heart's Love. And you're welcome, Jake. And I hope that those messages resonated with you guys. And if you're catching the replay, I hope that you guys receive some love and inspiration and hopefully some empowerment from this reading today, and just connecting in with other people's energies and listening to what's going on. Kathy, it's really good to see you. I'm going to try to come on and do a full reading at some point soon. The energies I was just saying at the beginning of this reading have just been too intense for me to, late camping, come on and really properly connect in with you guys. Although I've been really wanting to come on and connect with you guys, I just wasn't in the right headspace. So I'm definitely glad that you guys are here today. So Kathy, I don't know if you want a card, and I don't think I've missed anybody. But if you want a card pull and you haven't, let me know. Put yes, please in the comments, or let me know if you'd like a card pull. But if not, thank you so much for tuning in. And I really hope you guys reach out to friends and family or connections. And if you don't, like if you're really a solo flyer, like a lone wolf, find ways to connect in, reconnect yourself with an open heart. So nature, music, whatever you can do to help yourself open up again and come out of that survival heart energy and that fight or flight energy, And I know it's hard, and I'm in this stage too. Like, this for me is me actively opening up my heart and going, okay, I'm going to share my energy. I'm going to open my energy. And I did a big cleanse before I came on today. So Kathy, this one is for you. And let's see. I'm also cleansing my body too, because I feel like it's really bogged down right now. There's some unfortunate life choices on my part. But that happens because I'm prone to eating my feelings. So when it's really intense, I tend to kind of either go up or down in weight. So this time I went up, and now I'm going, okay, I'm just going to have to, monitor my conversations with myself, be kind to myself, but also I'm just doing like a little mini cleanse. So if you guys have to do that in whatever way works for you. Oh, Kathy, you got the wild card too. So I'm going to pull another one to get more clarity. Okay, can you please clarify a wild card for Kathy? Just because that one already came out. Okay. Oh, so 2 doubles. Okay, so wild card and allowing again. So I'm not going to go through and read the whole allowing card again, but it was really pertinent, and it was in the reading. So it would probably be about 40 minutes in the replay or when I talk about allowing. But this one is really, really talking about moment to moment, breath by breath, releasing any way that it needed to be. And this one really resonates with me too right now, because everything is so uncertain in my life that I really struggle sometimes to keep the faith and the trust. And I can go into a heavy spiral. Downward spiral. So it's really up to me, and it's up to you as the wild card to find that balance within you, to find that empowerment with you, however you can, to come back to a place of surrender and allowing. And that's a really, it can be really challenging when the outside world is dystopian and in kind of destruction, right? So with that going on outside of ourselves, it can be hard to come back and go into allowing and go into surrendering to the divine plan, to the energy outside of ourselves that we don't control. But I'll also pull a couple more cards for you. So I'll pull an animal card for you. And then I'm not sure, did you want a Wisdom of Avalon or Return to Spirit card? Pick which one resonates with you more, Kathy, and I will pull a card from one or the other. But here is your animal totem. What message aligns with the allowing the wild card for Kathy? Okay. All right. Oh, yay. This is the second time we've got Dragonfly magic coming through. So isn't that beautiful? I actually found a pair of Dragonfly wings on my walk, actually, which reminds me they're in my little bag. I didn't take them out yet. I'm just going to add them to my kind of power charms. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. Let's see. Dragonfly. Okay. So it says prosperity, purity, good luck, omens, change, transformation, messages, nature spirit, and ancient wisdom. Dragonfly is an ancient creature. It is estimated that they have been on the planet for millions of years. They are gifted survivors. Their brilliant colors come only with maturity. This is a core truth of their wisdom. Growth, enlightenment, and your best self comes with time. Dragonfly asks us to be patient with ourselves and the process. Their first 2 years are spent in the waters as a nymph. In late spring, they crawl to land, dry themselves off, and take to the air. The last stage of their life is stunningly short. Dragonfly people are urged to see the brilliant moment while they can. If Dragonfly comes fluttering into your awareness, know that messages, change, and opportunity are on the wind. Perhaps a loved one who is now who is now spirit, is reaching out. Nature spirits and magic are always near dragonfly people. Pay attention to omens. If dragonfly is your totem, you have the power to continually transform into something better and more brilliant. You will always have everything you need to prosper. If you ever feel static, call upon the energy of dragonfly to help change the situation and lift you to a brighter and more beautiful world. And it says, contrary, are you stuck in the swamp of the past? Rise above it. Are you disconnected from the brilliance of your inner light? Look within. And I know that's happened to me a few times where I'm just like, feel dark and disconnected and like, I don't want to be here. But then it's like, oh, okay, but it's a daily thing. I have to come into, basically remember the beauty, remember the laughter, the lightheartedness, like the best parts of myself too. Be reminded life is too short to be anything but happy. Drop your burdens, let go and fly. And that resonates to 12, right? So number 3. Or wait, well, sort of. 11 and 12, I guess. So I was just looking at the page numbers there. Awesome. So that one's a beautiful, beautiful message about transforming the situation and allowing your beautiful, brilliant colors to shine through. And also, you know, the wild card was indicating, I don't know if you caught the wild card when I read it for Heart's Love, but it just talks about our personal power. So I guess it's that question of like being in the, I guess, victim mentality and or empowered mentality. And right now I feel like they're kind of merging, like they're not just one or the other. It's like we can be both. We can have moments when we are in that energy of surrender and having something outside of ourself be kind of in the driver's seat in a way, but we're actually allowing and empowered by that because we know we're going with the flow of the universe. We're actively participating in that. We're not just going, okay, whatever happens, happens, right? Like we are actively seeking things that we enjoy and trying to bring more joy into our lives. But there's also this element of like knowing how much we're transforming within these times, and even with like what's happening, we don't need to go into it right now, but we know that there's lots of different opinions floating around, and we get to see a lot of people, but or truths about people, but sometimes that's not their best self. Sometimes, you know, it's coming from a place of fear as well. So I don't know why I brought that up, but there might be people around you who you'll be rising above kind of like petty energies, because your energy is actually really spiritually brilliant right now. So there's something that has transformed in you that is so different than ever before in your entire lifetime, and yet there's still movement and still things to evaluate and transform and change. So very interesting energies for you, Kathy. And did you want a clarifier card, Kathy? Or yeah, that one. I know that one's a big one. The Avalon. Okay, perfect. So this one, let's see if there's any like questions or curiosities from the reading. Kathy, this is clarification for anything that you're wondering. Clarification for Kathy. That one's it. And from Avalon, this one says risk number 40. So I'll read this one out. And it shows multiple directions. So there's these little arrows. They're kind of light, so you might not be able to see them as well. So 40, let's see. I'm just going to have a quick sippy sip. This marker brings excitement to your path. You cannot know the outcome of the action you're being called to take until you do it. In this way, you're required to be blind in the forest for a time, risking all you know and all you've acquired on your journey for the potential of something better. Perhaps the training you require demands faith in what you cannot experience with your 5 senses. But reliance on the 6th sense, your intuition, can provide you with another type of sight to aid you in your journey. Very important questions can be answered now. Is engaging in the situation worth the risk, or does my inner sight tell me to wait until another opportunity comes? Am I willing to learn a lesson of defeat and surrender to the promise of unknown potential? Pray for guidance and ask for a sign. Maybe the sign would be a dragonfly. If the answer is yes, take the risk. If no, rest, regroup, and wait on the will of the divine mystery. Another sacred journey marker may reveal the answer. So it sounds like you do have a choice or a question that you've been asked or you're asking yourself. And Spirit is saying your intuition will help you find the answer. And if not, your intuition will help you pay attention to the omens and the signs so that that answer can come through. So there we go. Lots of messages coming through today for everyone. A little bit of a different way of doing it. Like I said, please let me know if you prefer the other way. But once in a while, this is good because you get more of a personal reading. And as I said, the messages apply to those who are watching just in different ways, right? So take the messages that resonate for you and kind of let go and release the others. But you'll feel when it resonates for you in a kind of collective reading. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you want to catch me when I go on live again, hit the notification bell. If you want to support the channel and what I do, sign up to subscribe. And if you enjoyed these messages, hit the like button. And I will try to, you know what, I just feel like naturally once I'm in a better place, once I have some footing, I'll probably be on here more and I'll be changing up my approach. So we'll be doing some different readings and I might even start a whole new channel and do it in a different format. But I'll let you guys know, I'll let my clients and people who follow me know what that channel is because I might go kind of incognito. So yeah, I'm glad I came on here, you guys. If you guys are thinking about reaching out to someone or showing up and connecting with someone, well, thanks, Kathy. I really appreciate it. And, you know, just going out into nature, just connect with yourself first. But if you feel like you want to connect with others, please do so because it can be lonely out here. No matter who, you can have 50 people around you that you don't truly connect with. So try to connect with people who you can be authentic with and let yourself shine through, you know, as you are. So lots of love, you guys. Take care. Send me a message, leave a comment if this resonated with you. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. So catch the replay if you're just tuning in at the end. And hopefully we'll be on soon to share some more messages. All right. Love you guys. Take care and have a good afternoon. Bye. Ciao.